Okay, so before you immediately hit the dislike button, hear me out. So first of all, what qualifies a good expansion pack? I think that there are 3 key indicators for that. Gameplay, the usability of the pack, and whatever is in cars, build by, and the world that might be worth having in your game. So let's start reviewing this pack and its gameplay first of all. To actually review it objectively and without my subjective hate for this pack, I actually spent a lot of time playing it and trying to prove to myself that it's not that bad, that you can play with all the main features, and that after a year of having this pack released, they're surely now fixed and all my initial issues are surely now resolved. The answer is no. So how did it come to me testing this pack in the first place, and why so long? Well, the answer is simple. My boyfriend thought it was a great idea to give me the pack because I was feeling really ill in June. I was sick for about a week and I was really I was in pain, and he just wanted to be nice, and he found it on sale for less than 10 euros, and he remembered me saying that I would only get this pack if it was less than 10 euros. So he bought it for me, and while I was sick, I was like, okay, you know what, I just well play with it and have a look at it and see if it's really that bad as I think, or maybe it's not. So I spent about a week being in pain, playing this pack, and it was kind of a good, just don't think about the pain kind of way to endure my sickness. And well, I've got about, I think, 18 hours of footage of me playing this pack. And my main thought process was, hey, now that we have Dream Home Decorator, maybe the whole thing finally makes sense. Because the main problem that I always had with this was that, you cannot change other Sims' houses and make the eco footprint. You cannot really control the eco footprint because you can't change people's houses, but with Dream Home Decorator you can. So that's what I was trying to do. My sim self was going down the Dream Home Decorator path to change other Sims' houses to try and influence the eco footprint, while Nix was going down the civil designer career because I thought that maybe doing that might also have an impact on it or something, and that was like my whole setup for this experiment. So from the setup you can see that I really tried to eliminate my own subjective hate for the pack and really objectively give it a try. I seriously spent 18 hours just trying to play with this pack and not getting distracted by the other packs and everything. It kind of worked out well. I tried to combine it with Dream Home Decorator because, again, I was trying to see if my main criticism with Eco Lifestyle would be balanced out by Dream Home Decorator, which in itself I don't think is good, but it's something. And I was trying it out. So, what is the answer, you might ask yourself? After over a year of this expansion pack being out, and the main selling point of this pack, I might remember you, is the eco footprint. The main gameplay feature is the eco footprint that you can change depending on what you do with your Sims, on what career you have, on what you try to convince your neighbors of, and everything like that. This main selling point, the eco footprint, is still fundamentally broken. My testing proved me right, unfortunately. I was really hoping that they fixed it by now, but they didn't. You might be wondering yourself now, like, the eco footprint, that's not the only thing that's, interesting about the pack in terms of gameplay. What about all the other stuff? Like, what about that? Like, the main feature? For me, it's not the main feature, so your criticism doesn't work for me. So what problem do you have with everything else? Let me explain. So let's have a quick look at the key features of the pack as listed by EA. Sustainable living, basically the recycling gameplay. Collaborative community, the neighborhood action plans. Change the world, the eco footprint that I just criticized. And the upcycling decor, which, cheap furniture. Woohoo. So let's start at the top of the list. Sustainable living. Reduce, recycle, reuse. The recycling process and all that, I tried with Nix and it was meh. You get some furniture out of it. Like, that's not really, anything groundbreaking. It's just more furniture. And anything else that was there, like the juice fizzing, was kinda useless because it doesn't make you money. And even if you would like to sell it, your Sims just autonomously drink it immediately after they make it, so you can't even really sell it, which was really, really annoying. And then the other thing that was included in this was, for some reason, off-the-grid gameplay, which I would have put as an own separate selling point, because I will admit that might be the one selling point that I'm not criticizing completely, for the sole reason that it actually makes off-the-grid gameplay a lot better. I really like the solar panels and I really like the water collectors, but that's it. That's basically everything good I can say about this pack is 2 items. That's not a good score for an expansion pack. And do I even need to talk about neighborhood action plans? They're so annoying. Even when I played, it was like, please no. Can I just cheat them away? Please, just no. Just no. I'm so glad you can disable them in the settings, although you will still for some reason get the notification that they exist, and it's just like, please no. Just no. And yeah, about the eco footprint I've already talked, and now the upcycling decor where you dumpster dive for cheap furniture. Yay! I don't really get the hype about dumpster diving. I get that it's, fun that you get a random item out of the dumpster, and I can get behind that, I guess, but that's it. Like, it's something for rags to riches, but it's nothing that I would ever consider a valuable gameplay. It's just an item. It's not gameplay for me. So you might be thinking now, yeah, sure, you're entitled to your opinion, you mustn't like it, but I'm still not convinced that the main selling point, the eco footprint, really is still broken. Like, you just said that, you didn't really make an argument for it. To those of you, I say, watch the footage of me reacting to the eco footprint. Enjoy its chaos. Okay, so at this point, I have given the hell up on trying to do this on my own. And especially on trying to do this with the Dream Home Decorator one, because the one thing that I needed was to finally get those stupid apartments to be able to renovate them in-game. I didn't get it. I moved in Sims. I moved the Sims out. I moved new Sims in. I never got those stupid apartments, and I'm done. I am done. I went into build buy mode. I made these apartments as green as I could. You see, there's a billion wind turbines on there. If this doesn't make the eco footprint finally go green, I don't know what. I also went back to this house and, it's more of an atrocity than it was before. And I also went to the community lot, made it into a residential one, and now there's this atrocity there. And if this doesn't take the freaking footstep to be as green as humanly possible, the whole system is goddamn screwed and useless.
6.5 hours later.
Now we're green. Great. And it's actually going up. Question, will it keep going up?
2 hours later.
How is it not the greenest of the green? Screw this house. Screw everything. I'm making this as green as humanly possible. My game is so laggy because of the billion wind turbines in the back. You have no clue. If you can't tell by now, let me reassure you, I've given up. Completely. I'm not even hiding it. The game is so laggy. And the footprint's not even fully green. I'm putting as much as I can on the roof with the money we've made.
20 minutes later.
Are you serious? It's not getting greener? Have you seen this atrocity? How is this not as green as you can humanly get? How? Tell me, there's a billion wind turbines in here. It's laggy AF. How? It's going industrial! Are you serious? I am so sorry to my microphone because I'm screaming. Do you see this mess? There's turbines sticking out of the apartments. How is this not the greenest of the green? 151,000 worth of solar panels, and this thing is still not green AF. How? So after this little mental breakdown, I decided I'm getting my tester sim and I'm testing the hell out of the system. How can this still be broken? It's been over a year. Anyways, here's a quick summary of my testing. So naturally my first instinct was to grab a billion solar panels and test it out with them. And what my testing concluded was solar panels are goddamn useless, and the most useful item to get your eco footprint up the highest was wallpaper and flooring. I'm serious. The same also goes for the industrial footprint. I put all the industrial things that you might think would totally influence your footprint onto the lot, and I even let my tester Sim Nadine run through them and get them to work and everything, but nope, nothing was as efficient as wallpaper and flooring. On top of that, the items that actually pollute your world with gameplay, you need a ton of recycled stuff to just get them to run. So what I did was buy a billion beds and a billion Technic stuff and all that and recycle them and use to fuel these things. Was it worth it? No, totally not. I didn't get the industrial footprint that I wanted. But you know what got me the industrial footprint? Wallpaper and flooring. I'm not kidding. Wallpaper and flooring for some reason are totally OP when it comes to the eco footprint, and it makes no goddamn sense. And the worst thing of all was that once I finally had it industrial, it immediately turned neutral again. I had the exact same issue that Jessie, Plambella, had when she tested this pack when it first came out. Same for the green footprint actually, when I wasn't actively playing in the household and was actually still, trying to use everything off the grid and everything, like the footprint immediately went down to neutral again, and that's just broken. It's fundamentally broken. The main gameplay feature of Eco Lifestyle, after 1 year of it being out, is still fundamentally broken. The pack is not worth it from a gameplay perspective. And that's my main point today. The rest of this is just telling you that the rest of the pack isn't worth 40 euros either. So moving on to usability. What do I mean with usability? I mean using the pack outside of its intended purpose, in this case, eco-friendly gameplay. Since Eco Lifestyle is an expansion pack, I expect the pack to expand on my everyday gameplay no matter what. It doesn't do that at all. It doesn't add anything. I want to disable this pack every time I hear anything about it. The neighborhood action plans are an atrocity, even when I turn them off. Everything about this pack is just annoying, and I seriously thank James Turner for the pack disabler, because it's the only thing that keeps me from just trying to get a refund on this pack, although it was just 10 euros and I got it gifted by someone I dearly love from the bottom of my heart. That's how much this pack annoys me. It's not usable at all. The main gameplay feature is broken. I cannot use anything from this pack out of actually wanting to play the pack. And I'm sorry, that's not an expansion pack. That is the definition of a gameplay pack or a stuff pack. It's not usable. Usability score, probably a 1 out of 10, because it does have the off-the-grid gameplay feature, which is seriously the only thing that might actually be able to save this pack if it was a stuff pack. From this short segment, moving on to cars, build by, and the word, which are the features that most oftenly get regarded to the reason you should buy Eco Lifestyle. Today I'm telling you, no they aren't. Let's start with cars. Generally speaking, I do not see cars in general as a reason to buy any pack, kit or whatever, because as a PC player, I can just download custom content. I understand that when you're on console you can't do that, but still. The Eco Lifestyle cars for me personally is kinda meh. Unpopular opinion, the only thing that I really like is that skirt with the trousers that everyone else seems to hate, but I really like it because I think it's kinda cool. And yeah, for the kids, you get some stuff, and again, when you're on console, getting stuff for kids is like Christmas, so I can understand that. But if you would like to have stuff for kids, get toddler stuff or kids stuff. It's 10 euros, it's a fourth of what Eco Lifestyle is worth. So yeah, cash, not worth it. Moving on to a build buy. I was pretty split on that one and I didn't really know how to judge, so I put every item into either the green field, which is stuff that I like, or the red field, which is stuff that I really don't like. And depending on how far away from the line it is how much I like or dislike it. And yeah, I'm pretty split on it, and most of the stuff I kind of really dislike, mostly because I feel like it's tagged wrong or it just isn't my style. I really don't use this style of building a lot. For me, not worth it at all. It's maybe worth like a stuff pack or maybe a kit worth of stuff that I would actually use, including the solar panels and wind turbines, which I really, really like. And the rest I'm kind of like either meh or hell no, you know, so meh. Better built by, not for me. Maybe for some people, not for me. So, last of all, let's talk about Evergreen Harbor, the word that came with Eco Lifestyle. And, you know, this will probably be the deciding factor on point 3, whether or not you should buy this pack, as Cars was meh, Better Built By is also meh, and both together aren't really an argument to buy it, especially when you're on PC. So, let's have a look closer to the world of Evergreen Harbor that can actually change, just like Strangerville. Wow, such a new concept. And if you're not thinking, hey, Evergreen Harbor is such an amazing, beautiful world, what could she possibly have against you? Then I advise you to play more SimsGuesser, because all the stuff that I just shown you while talking is from Willow Creek and Newcrest. I think that Evergreen Harbor is pretty generic and pretty boring and not worth playing in, except for the fact that apparently it can change, but only if you do the Eco Lifestyle gameplay, which, as I said before, is fundamentally broken and pretty boring. Also, I lied. 2 of the clips that I showed you were actually from Evergreen Harbor. Try and figure out which ones they were. Write it in the comments. If you actually guessed it, like, congrats, you're the master of SimsGuesser. But now let me show you some actual screenshots of Evergreen Harbor. You know, the beautiful ones that you've all been waiting for. This is what Evergreen Harbor looked like for the past 3 months, plus minus a little bit. And you know what the wild thing is? It was never mentioned anywhere, not in any patch notes, updates, or anything. And that's really strange to me. So yeah, as I said before, I think Evergreen Harbor is very generic looking, and it's not even good looking. There are a lot of places in the world where things are kind of overlapping, lines don't match up with the next ones that should follow. And I really dislike the word. It really isn't my favorite at all. So, the final question. Is Eco Lifestyle worth buying? No. It's not. If you have 40 euros, spend it on anything else but this pack. And if you have 10 euros and Eco Lifestyle is somewhere on sale for 10 euros, I think that's fine. 10 euros is a fair price for this stuff pack. I'm sorry. Eco Lifestyle is a stuff pack. Good night, Tri-State area.